done. Jim Jordan lost 3 votes on the House floor last week and dropped out. New Speaker candidates had until noon yesterday to announce their intention to run, and 9 did.
Jack Bergman of Michigan, Byron Donalds of Florida, Tom Emmer of Minnesota, Kevin Hearn of Oklahoma, Mike Johnson of Louisiana, Dan Muser of Pennsylvania, Gary Palmer of Alabama, Austin Scott of Georgia, and Pete Sessions of Texas. The plan is to have them state their cases at a closed-door forum tonight, ahead of a secret caucus ballot Tuesday. Republicans hope the one who emerges will do what Jim Jordan could not, unite the party and reopen the House for business. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The Israeli military increases the number of known hostages held by Hamas militants in Gaza to 222.
The Israelis continue limited raids into Gaza to try and look for information about the hostages that are being held there, and also to ensure that they are clearing the path for that expected ground operation.
Fox's Trey Yanks. The health ministry in Gaza reports 436 Palestinians, including 182 children, killed in Israeli military strikes in the last 24 hours. The funeral is held in Oak Park, Michigan, for Samantha Wall, a 40-year-old president of a synagogue in Detroit, stabbed to death Saturday morning. Her sister Monica.
She was a model citizen, a model Jewish citizen, who forged a path for herself and countless others to feel more connected with local community, Israel, and the whole of humanity.
Police have not identified a suspect and say they have no evidence of any motive, including anti-Semitism. Former President Trump on social media says a New York Times story about Trump sharing classified information with an Australian billionaire, Anthony Pratt, is fake news, and calls Pratt a red-haired weirdo. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
The State Department warns the United States will defend the Philippines in the case of armed attack. The Philippines says the Chinese Coast Guard blocked and collided with 2 of its ships on a Navy resupply mission in the South China Sea. The Chinese Coast Guard blames the Philippine vessels for causing the collisions. A man shot and killed at a clothing store in Rochester, New York. Police say the suspect, who's not in custody at this point, came in, shot the victim several times, and left. There's a gun safe recall.
The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission reveals Fortress Safe has recalled 61,000 gun safes that use fingerprint reader technology, citing a programming flaw. The recall targets the Fortress biometric safes, lockboxes, and gun cabinets sold under the names Cabela's, Gettysburg, Legend, Range and Field, and Fortress. The commission saying the user can believe they have properly programmed the biometric feature when in fact the safe remains in the default open mode, allowing anyone, including children, to gain access to what's inside. Citing 39 reports of the safes opening to unauthorized users in a lawsuit alleging a 12-year-old boy died from a firearm after obtaining a gun from one. Folks can find out more by going to cpsc.gov. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
At the movies.
Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, continues its reign on the box office, bringing in $32 million in its second week in theaters.
People would come up to me and they'd be like, "You're going to just like do a show with like all the albums in it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's going to be called the Eras Tour. See you there."
Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon comes in second place, pulling in $23 million during its opening weekend. Exorcist, The Believer, drops to third place, bringing in $5.6 million. Kathleen Maloney, Fox News.
Stock futures are lower ahead of the opening bell to start the new week of trading on Wall Street. Baseball, the Rangers beat the Astros 9-2 to force a Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An attorney with the Illinois Comptroller's Office out of a job over anti-Semitic comments she made on Instagram. Comptroller's Office announced they fired the employee, and a screenshot of the Instagram exchange was reposted to X. During the exchange, the lawyer reportedly said, "All you Zionists will pay, and Hitler should have eradicated all of you." Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services will temporarily pause new enrollees for the health benefits for immigrant seniors program. The pause will take effect November the 6th. HFS previously announcing that the new HBIS enrollment would be temporarily paused at 16,500 individuals. An enrollment benchmark the program is expected to reach in the coming weeks. Illinois' unemployment rate up. The Department of Employment Security says the state's jobless rate increased by 0.3% last month to 4.4. However, non-farm payroll jobs decreased by 9,500 in September to a record high, surpassing pre-pandemic levels. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. Good morning. It is the 23rd of October. Glad you're listening on this Monday, ESPN 93.5. I am Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Weather brought to you this morning by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you that Work It Circuit kicks into high gear this week. If you'd like to work out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they have a plan for you at urbanaparks.org.
Mr. Solier, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Well, we had a windy day and a very disappointing end to the Illinois football game on Saturday, but it was...
yes, we did.
Wind was quite a factor. It really, really was, because whoever had the wind was scoring. We scored against the wind once. Everything else went with the wind. So, anyway, bummer. We got some Brett Bielma. I also got some Brad Underwood. We scored 116 points in the exhibition. So that we had that going for us.
Yes, we did.
So for our week, Mr. Greg Solier, our meteorologist, tell me what you're seeing.
Well, let's, try to get it done while we can, while we may. Safety first for our, ag friends out there in harvest mode. Don't think this will be the end of the harvest season, but we've got some pretty good rains. Again, the old juggling act, rain and dryness, or, get the harvest and get things complete. We're ahead of the game in many to most locales. And there'll be another window of opportunity, but we're going to have to wait probably into sometime in the first half of the month of November. That's the degree of wetter weather that's coming our way. In the meantime, a little frost scraping off the windshield in some spots at 37 over at Willard and Savoy. Same at Danville, 39 at the Kankakee. Get out to the west of us here, 44 by the time, make that 48 at Peoria, 50s into Iowa. Some rain up through parts of Wisconsin, northeast Iowa, and Minnesota currently. That stays away for the next couple of days, but after that, all bets are off. 68 today with a mostly sunny, breezy, milder afternoon. South winds will be picking up throughout the day. Fair, not as cool tonight in the 50s. Windy, warmer for the day tomorrow, up to 77, even 80 south of Champaign County, and a partly cloudy sky. Could be a shower at spots after midnight tomorrow night, lows near 60, and a windy and mild Wednesday. A couple of showers around both morning and afternoon at 73, 75, and a couple of more showers around for Thursday. On Friday, widespread showers and thunderstorms, 77. Will cool off to more seasonal readings in the 60s for the weekend. More rain ahead late Saturday and Sunday. By Monday, Tuesday next week, daytime highs only in the 40s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Well, so you're in Orlando, Raven Harrison. What is this, vacation? You're speaking? What are you doing?
Well, it's turned into that. The initial plan was to come down and see how the constituents were feeling for these Florida reps, on the speaker race.
Okay, so Raven Harrison has joined us now. Happy to have Raven. She ran for Congress. She might do it again. Who knows? She is with us right now. She wrote a book called Raven's Mantle, and that's all over Amazon if you want to go buy that. Fighting the betrayal of America. So I don't know. I mean, there's 9 new people that want to be Speaker of the House for the Republicans. Is that what I understand?
Yes. Very, very crowded field now.
How are we going to get 217 on anybody?
Well, we're going to have to, the Republican Party is going to have to do something they don't do well, which is unite and finally get behind one person. And they're going to have to get behind the person that we the people want, which is what they didn't do last time. Overwhelmingly, the phone lines blew up. I was checking the sweep across the nation of the ones who were voting against Jim Jordan, and overwhelmingly, the people said they wanted Jim Jordan, and these politicians voted one way in public and then voted another way in an anonymous vote. And there was there's a lot of pressure from the lobbyists. The lobbyists descended on the Capitol Grill up there on K Street to go after these politicians, and then they started changing their votes one by one. So we've got a standoff between the establishment and we the people.
Okay, so, I mean, obviously it doesn't make Republicans look very good, Raven. So
no, it does not.
What the heck? I'm not sure you can get, it's just too slim of a margin. And it's, the longer it drags on, I think the worse it looks for the party. So I don't know. I don't know how you coalesce around one.
Well, that's what it's going to be. They're either going to destroy themselves or they're going to use this opportunity to rise. I think that the one ace they have in the hole is they can't spend money. That's what's really going on right now, is until there's a speaker, they cannot write a single check, not to Ukraine, not to Israel, not for any of this. So they have a little bit of incentive to get their act together. But you are correct. It is a horrible look for Republicans, and they should be embarrassed that they're talking about, we need to get back to governing, and you can't even get together and decide on one person. It's not going to happen. So this is where we keep the pressure on and go, guys, you got to grow up and get this done. You know, the American people are really, quite frankly, sick of it.
No, we are, and I think it's not the first year that this has been going on for a bit. And I've just concluded they're all from a country club winking at each other, and that's what we got Donald Trump because I didn't. It's just bad. So I have this thing, and it's weird, but I see myself in a joint session of Congress, everybody out there, and I'm at the podium. I'm going, you guys are great, way to go. I got to let y'all go. Okay, I got to let y'all go. We're just going to start over and have term limits, and then everybody can go and serve their country and come home and get their little pharmacy job back. Okay? Okay, that's the new rule. We're going to do that. Raven, this is just not working well.
Correct. It's time for a great reset, and I think we should send all the incumbents home. Anybody who's going, well, I did this. Nobody cares what you think. You're supposed to be elected to do we the people. It's what we think, and we don't have the money to keep writing checks. We have to secure our border. We have priorities. And if you guys can't handle a speaker vote, guys, hate to break it to you, life's going to get a lot harder. Yeah. So this is where we have to keep the feet to the fire, and that's why I'm down here. What do the people really think? And what they really think is this is childish and ridiculous.
Okay, both your parents military.
Yes.
What's the take on what the heck's going on? Because this feels like a real potential really bad situation in the Middle East and Israel. It feels like this thing could get out of control.
It is. My parents lay this at the square at the feet of Biden. This is inept leadership. China and Russia are ganging up. We armed Iran with equipment and money, and now they're using it to harm Americans, and, it's going to require a swift response. Israel is our ally.
Yeah, but I think we're asking Israel to wait till we get more people out. I mean, Hamas isn't letting everybody go. They have hostages, and then they have people that they don't want to leave because they want them to die as a human shield.
Well, correct, but this has been the way it has been, but this never moved forward until we put equipment, guns, and money in their hands, which Biden just did. That's the problem. We left $85 billion worth of equipment in Afghanistan, which they are using to murder Americans. We gave them $60 billion. We released. You can't do that. And that's where we are right now, is we've funded them and we've equipped them. So now we have to figure out what to do about it.
All right, we got our challenges. There's a lot going on. Raven, enjoy Florida. Hope it goes well for you. Hope we get a Speaker of the House sometime before the end of the year.
Same. Okay. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Raven Harrison, our guest, ESPN 93.5. All right, 7:14. Don't know what to tell you. I was there to the end of the football game, and that stung. And, Johnny Newton, was it targeting? He kind of caught the bottom of the chin, led with his hands. And there's a really, really good picture on Twitter of the initial contact was, in fact, with his hands. And I thought targeting was more leading with the crown of your head so you really can't see, clearly with face mask. And listen, it could have been called, I guess, but it could not have been called. And I believe, momentum-wise, everything else, I think we win the football game if it's not called.
I mean, we were leading in the fourth quarter.
Well, our offense was struggling, couldn't get a first down. It was struggling last quarter and a half, but we're up 21-7.
Right.
And so then it's 21-10. And then they go down, score 21-18. They have the ball, 3 minutes left to call on Johnny Hurt.
Right.
Because not only did it change 30 yards of field position and momentum, you lost to LeBron James.
Right.
He's out.
Right.
And then he's out first half of the Minnesota game week from Saturday unless they win their appeal. But there's other calls, too. Wisconsin, let me just namby-pamby whine. Wisconsin's clapping. That's how we trigger the offense when Luke Altmaier claps. So if you have opposition clapping that sounds the same, they jump offside. You can't do that. So Brett had to burn a timeout to say you can't do that.
I see.
Ball's rolling away in the wind. They didn't reset the clock, so he had to call a timeout. He did get that one back, saying, you guys have to reset the clock when you move the ball. It blew away.
Okay.
But the officiating is not stellar. May I say that?
Right.
All right.
So Wisconsin won 25-21.
I guess.
Next up is Minnesota on November 4th in Minnesota. So at least we have a bye week where we can regroup.
Get healthy.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Yeah.
It's our Monday winding session.
Kind of explanation did you get on what was called
Brett Bielema after the game?
0. I've been in this league a long time. Everybody's always gonna, have their opinions on things, and I love the Big Ten. I love the officials, what they are, but I literally had some things, not only just this game, but over the course of the year, I'm just tired of it. I can't handle it. I don't understand it. Very frustrating. There's just a small synopsis at the end. I need those timeouts, right? And I had to call a timeout because they clapped, which made our guys jump, right? And I had to point it out to them because they could do it on the next play, and if they're going to allow it. So now they're down a timeout. Obviously, then at the end of the half, they're at the end of the game. They have a big play, get it down to the 5-yard line. We see them sub. So we sub, and they said they made a mistake and didn't T-bar, right, which makes us burn a timeout, which was all the difference in the world in an end-of-game scenario. And then the play on Johnny, obviously we'll appeal it. I saw it on the field. One of the things we wanted to do with this quarterback, sometimes when you have open hits on the quarterback, it's very tempting to lead with your head. And we've been trying to teach those guys to go for the ball. He was really loose on the ball. We obviously got one out in the first half. There was a play at the end of the game last week against Iowa where they got the ball out. So I think Johnny actually led with his hands, and it just turned the game. Like it's maddening. It's absolutely the most frustrating thing to have one of your best players make a great play and to have it go 30 yards the other way is just insanity.
What do you do?
All right, so he'll appeal that, and there's a picture of Johnny leading with his hands. Somebody got the perfect picture.
Okay.
That doesn't look like leading with your helmet.
Hands first.
Tough stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Take that one to trial. Let's see if we come out on top.
Yeah, we lost the game. It's over.
All right. Illinois beat Rutgers in volleyball, so we're 10-10 on the season.
Good.
Raina Terry with 28 kills.
All right.
So next up will be Huff Hall, Indiana, Wednesday at 7.
We are checking our more mild weather forecast with maybe rain coming with Mr. Meteorologist.
So again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Panhandle Saturday. Nice wind in store for mid to late October. Changes ahead, though, come the weekend and more so to next week. 68 today with a mostly sunny sky and increasing southeast to south wind. Not so cool tonight. Skies fair. Dawn temperature with a south wind down to 54. Tomorrow, windy and warmer day with temperatures well above average at about 77 with a partly cloudy sky and a south wind 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of showers break out after midnight tomorrow night. Lows near 60, and a windy and mild day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy, couple of showers in the morning again for the afternoon. The high at about 73 degrees. Plenty of wet weather ahead for Thursday, Friday into the front part of the weekend. High temperatures on Thursday at 75, 77 on Friday. Showers continue for the weekend and back into much cooler and colder weather. Highest temperatures expected into the 60s Saturday and Sunday. May not get out of the 40s around here by mid next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Stoldier.
Busey's been around a very long time, over 150 years, and they are so involved in their community. They are doing volunteering. They are raising money for scholarships. Busey has all the lines of business you'd ever want, the 5 lines of business that you might need. They've got them there: personal, business, mortgage, business cash management, wealth management. Check with anybody at Busey. Remember, Busey is for 150 plus years, member FDIC. Back in just a moment. It is 7:20 in Champaign-Urbana.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
New from the Fox News Podcast Network.
I'm Emily Campagno, and this is the Fox True Crime Podcast.
And I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
I sit down with the people who lived the nightmares.
I was in shock. I was just devastated.
The investigators who tirelessly worked on the case.
And I really hope that they can catch this guy.
Bringing you closer to the story than you ever thought possible.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
These are the stories that keep you up at night.
Ready for some much-needed pampering and girl time? Merle Norman is just the place. Join in on the fun and frolicking on Witch's Day Out, Friday, October 27th, starting at 11 at Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio. We're talking door prizes, a spinning wheel with prizes and treats. Gather your friends and jump on your broom for a day of fun. Learn what works for your skin and rock some hot new looks. It's the fun Witch's Day Out at Merle Norman, Friday, October 27th, starting at 11.
Hi, it's Stevie J. I want to invite you to Stevie J Travel's unveiling of the 2024 travel itinerary. Are you interested? You might as well come. It's free. 10:30 in the morning, Tuesday, November 7th at the beautiful iHotel. Keith from Premier will be there, and he'll kind of identify where you're going to go next year. We got the Albuquerque Balloon Festival. We got a trip to Alaska. We got great trains in the Grand Canyon. Some wonderful, unique trips that you'll be interested in taking a look at, and maybe even joining us on an excursion and an adventure next year. 2024 is upon us. We need to start thinking about where you're going. Stevie J Travel, you can go to steviejtravel.com for more information, or just simply come on over to the iHotel and Conference Center on Tuesday, November 7th, 10:30 in the morning, and we'll be excited to share some of the trips we partner with Premier on and some other surprises. Again, it's Stevie J Travel, iHotel, November 7th at 10:30 in the morning. Stevie J Travel. Where do you want to go? Yeah, we're excited to announce some of these, and there's a number of fantastic ones right here in the United States of America that you're going to like. Anyway, that'll be November 7th. iHotel. Love going to the iHotel. I was there Friday night for Living Alternatives.
It was a wonderful banquet to support a great organization. And Mercy's Refuge, Pregnancy Resource Center, so many choices that you could make and have that organization walk alongside you if you're a woman facing pregnancy.
Al and Lisa Robertson were the keynotes. I thought they did a really good job.
Me too.
Very compelling in some of their life, and they shared it in Duck Dynasty fame.
That's right.
And yeah, funny. And I thought Al's description that, personalities are like dogs. Very funny.
That's right.
And had pictures of dogs and
the black lab, the yellow lab, the chocolate lab.
I said, my wife thinks I'm the best looking Robertson. And then he showed a picture of everybody. He said, but the bar is really low.
He was kind of known as the beardless brother.
Well, he said, I'm the Marilyn Munster of the Munsters, the normal looking one, which was funny as well. But he's willing to be on with us anytime.
Yes.
So we got his contact info.
Sounds good.
And my daughter Grace did, I thought, a wonderful job.
Me too.
Did a great job. And so it was really, really a good night. And then Illinois had a basketball game.
That's right.
And that was fun.
So 116-65 over Ottawa, which meant a lot of different players got to play. And it was great to just see their chemistry and how things will be moving on as we get into Sunday the 29th against #1 Kansas.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the format. I think we have officials. I don't know if they're wearing game jerseys. I would think there'll be over 10,000 people there, but I really don't know.
It's a fundraiser for Maui Strong.
They're still selling some of the upper level, I think, for $40 each. And again, I think fundraiser here on this. And, how often do you get to see a preseason #1?
That's right.
And I don't know I don't know exactly if they're going to play it like a game.
Right.
Or they're going to run some out of bounds and work on some. I don't know. I would think it'll be kind of a game, but everybody's going to wonder where we stack up. How good are we?
Yeah.
And we know Kansas is good. We know Hunter Dickinson's going to get booed, and he'll probably wave his hand, bring it on kind of thing. But here's Brad Underwood after the ball game.
I think the worst thing that's happened in the last year is my eyesight has now gotten to the point where I can't read that without readers.
Talking about the statistics.
I think we're going to have to add about 10 pair of readers around the locker room.
Well,
increase the font. That's what I do, Brad.
He's like, what is he? Brad is 58 or something?
Right.
It happens when you're 40, people.
Okay.
40 years old is kind of the mark. What you've held on.
I'm in his range, and I'm grabbing readers.
Well, I grabbed readers at 40, so I'm not feeling sorry for any of you.
I'm in the bench and everything else, so I can see the scouting report. But I'd like to thank Ottawa. Obviously, there's a connection there with Joey, and it's been well documented. But it's a good basketball team. It's a good NAIA basketball team, and I'm going to enjoy watching and following their progress throughout the season, and did some things that caused us some problems, and now I'm excited to go watch film and learn from that. Most of the emphasis going into tonight was not about personnel or anything they did. It was about just us having a fundamental base and making all the fundamental plays that we've been working on, and trying not to make mistakes and communicate and over-communicate and value possessions. I thought we did a lot of good things. I loved the start of the game, obviously. Luke got us going. Marcus got us a couple extra possessions with offensive rebounds. I loved the fact we had 26 assists.
Yeah, we 116 to something. I mean, it was But the reactions go, well, it was Ottawa. Okay, I get it, but we'll see. Right. We're dynamically different from the standpoint of maturity. Mm-hmm. It's a different ball club. Mm-hmm. Our average age just went up like 4 years.
Right.
So these are men playing. Senior night's going to take an hour and a half. There's going to be like 9 people leaving. So it's just, this is a different ball club, and we'll see. Time will tell. Luke Goody will be in Philo tomorrow.
Okay.
Start his show on Tuesdays with Lana Derrick.
Right. Since we have Luke Altmaier today, we have our Lukes coming in the 4 o'clock hour, which is awesome.
I do NIL deals with Lukes only. So it's Luke Altmaier, who, again, he played great. He had 100 yards rushing. Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, had 100 yards rushing, 100 yards passing.
Yeah.
Okay, that was football. Now we go to the Stever, my friends. Today I'm giving out $50 bills from Curtis Orchard.
Nice.
And we are off this weekend, so guess what you can do?
Okay.
Go to Curtis Orchard. Temperature's supposed to be in the 60s this weekend.
I'm loving it.
Yep, and take time. You're going to park way out on the back 40. It'll take a little time to park and walk.
Uh-huh.
Because Curtis Orchard, iconic and crowded in October.
Yes.
So, and then, of course, we'll get into November, December when you want to get those pies for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
You can pre-order all of that and have that off your to-do list of taking care of the pies, because I think you have, 6 or 8 different choices. And the pumpkin pie and the apple pie, everybody loves the pecan pie. So, CurtisOrchard.com to find out all the details on that.
So, if you go to GoStever.com, you can click and try for $50 to spend. And we are asking you to go to one cash register because you can imagine how convoluted and complicated that would be. They have Stever buttons in all their registers, but you need to spend it all at once, because if you go to the back 40 and want to spend your final $11, there's no way to come.
That's right.
We can't do that.
Uh-huh.
So one spend, one cash register, please. and they are flying through there, as you can imagine. People.
Speaking of flying, the Flying Monkey Cafe is 11 to 2 throughout the month of October, and that has such great comfort food. I know Stevie and I went to visit, and they brought on the pumpkin bars with the cream cheese icing. Normally, I know you shoo off because the Sugar Buster days, some of the, but that was a treat that went away very quickly.
Well, you have to be polite. I mean, right?
Okay.
The host brings you some unbelievable. What was that? I still remember how creamy that was.
Yeah, the icing.
So you got $50. It's GoStever.com. GoStever.com.
All kinds of outdoor activities.
Yeah.
The large country store. The You Pick 'em Apples is a fun, festive thing to do. You can get in on a hayrack ride or the corn maze or the pony rides on the weekends. They've got the playground. Of course, I love feeding the goats.
Yeah, all fun. GoStever.com. GoStever.com.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Rocket sirens in towns in Israel that border Gaza. Well, Israeli warplanes striking targets across Gaza, and another small aid shipment was allowed into Hamas-ruled territory. Many believe the ground war is coming, but is politics keeping the troops from moving in?
The reality on the ground, based on American intelligence officials we're checking in with, regional intelligence officials from the Gulf, and also Israeli intelligence officials on deep background, tell us there is indeed American pressure. They want to see if they can get as many civilians out of Gaza that are currently being held hostage as possible.
Fox's Trey Inks reporting the Israeli military confirming Hamas has 222 hostages. Republicans meet tonight for a closed-door session to hear pitches from speaker candidates. And in court later today, New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez is going to be arraigned on a new set of charges. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An Urbana man charged with shooting earlier this month in Champaign. University of Illinois police say shots fired October 9th in the 600 block of South 2nd Street. Nobody hurt. Investigators identified Dominic Parrish as the shooter. He was arrested for reckless discharge of a firearm and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Illinois Secretary of State Alexei Janulia is expanding parental leave for employees in his office. He signed an executive order to expand the office's parental leave policy from 4 weeks to 12. Under the new policy, all of the 4,100 Secretary of State employees will receive up to 12 weeks of paid parental leave, regardless of whether they're birthing or non-birthing parent. Paxton soon helping people save money on their phone bills. The town is in the final stages of setting up free Wi-Fi downtown. That way people can have easier times loading different apps and searching the internet. Paxton applied for a grant from T-Mobile in May and were approved the following month. You're up to date. From the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom, I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Ben Nevis Saturday. Some nice mild days ahead. Plenty of rain ahead. Get it done while you may, where you can, and the best you can over the second half of the week. And a couple of more outbreaks expected over the weekend as we transition into more or less a mid to late November feel come early to mid next week. In the meantime, mostly sunny, breezy, milder afternoon highs today on your Monday at about 68. The southeast to south wind increasing at 12 to 22 and gusty. Not so cool tonight. Fair and in the 50s. Tomorrow, windy, warmer, partly cloudy, 77 for the high. That's almost 15 above average with a south wind 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of showers break out after midnight tomorrow night. Lows down to about 60 and up to 73. We climb with a couple of showers both morning and afternoon on Wednesday. Breezy, mild weather Thursday. More rain ahead both morning and afternoon. The high about 75. A couple of showers and thunderstorms 77 on Friday. Showers for the weekend. High temperatures in the 60s, but by Monday, Tuesday next week, only in the 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Soldier.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
With the leaves and temperatures beginning to fall, it's time to make sure those furnaces are in great running order. Get that furnace tuned up so it doesn't let you down on the cold nights. Dogtown is the People's Choice #1 HVAC company again in 2023. Ask about the current 0% financing offer on all Lennox high comfort systems and single component units for qualifying applicants. The number's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. All right, 7:35. Study says shouting at children can be as harmful as sexual or physical abuse.
What?
Okay.
Well, we need to learn more about this because that's
President-
a lot of people's technique to kind of discipline
I guess
their
it
kids.
depends what you're saying, right? Too. There's some of that.
True.
You're screaming in their face and you're swearing at them.
Yeah.
That could be pretty traumatic. The president and chief executive officer of the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology, counseling over 25 years. He's never been stumped. Brad Schwal. Why are you laughing, Brad?
I've never been stumped, but I have been frustrated before.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about, as you said, is very serious criticism, yelling that undermines a child's sense of self and esteem. But typically I'm not stumped, but I'm not perfect.
Okay, so again, I can't imagine this would be anywhere near the level of sexual abuse.
Well, it is. So our therapists and psychologists at the center, and in our profession, we're thinking of all forms of abuse when we're talking about abuse. So there is no better abuse or worse abuse. Physical, verbal, sexual, emotional, all have a harmful impact, and the consequences in children's lives last for years.
How can you determine definitively, Brad, when people talk about this, to try and figure out the effect it had when some people simply won't be as open when it comes to sexual abuse?
Right. Well, we have to think about what our job is as parents. It is to protect, to provide safety and security, recognizing that imbalance of power. We are the adults. So, A, we have power. B, we need to act like adults. And whenever a behavior crosses a boundary and it creates a sense of insecurity, it is traumatic. So certainly, there's the common comments, why would you do that? When I was your age, and we might get frustrated, and we're not going to be perfect, but when words are putting children down for who they are, frequency, consistency of it happening, and then the intensity, we have to recognize that just like physical abuse undermines a child's sense of security, so does verbal abuse.
What's the difference between a swat on the butt to correct and spanking?
Well, when it comes to corporal punishment, we again have to think about security and safety. We also have to think about what is most effective. There certainly are many viewpoints on spanking, but effective discipline is focused on showing our kids what we want them to be able to do more than just showing them what we don't want them to do. We also recognize that excited attention actually inadvertently reinforces the behavior. So when it comes to a swat or a pat, we really need to think overall about what is most effective and what is most safe for a child. But abuse is any time a child's safety is threatened and there is use of force or power that is not edifying and focused on teaching a child and guiding a child and nurturing a child.
Right, Brad. Can you talk about the proper way to discipline a child? Like, I know somebody who takes their child aside and goes over what the problem was, what the solution should have been, and I expect better from you, and maybe an apology, and then a SWAT, and maybe a timeout, and then a total reset and moving on.
Yeah. I think that sounds good. I don't know if the SWAT in that is necessary. All of it sounded great. One tip that we often forget is just to prepare your child for what is about to happen. So you go into the grocery store and you say, hey, we're not buying any candy. We're not buying any balloons at the counter. We're going to go in and get what we need for dinner and go out. Or, hey, in 5 minutes, we're leaving the park, and I want you to walk by my side. We're going to go home and get on to our next activity. The more that we let kids know what to expect and tell them what we want them to do, they want to live up to that. Mm-hmm. So certainly there's the response to the undesirable behavior, but often we can prevent the undesirable behavior from happening anyway. But when we do redirect, we say, hey, I saw you do this. When this happens, it doesn't work out, and here's what you can do the next time. And most importantly, also helping kids navigate their feelings, helping them problem solve, helping them build skills that help them be successful.
It's Brad Schwall on the Tapman's Towing phone line. We're talking children, counseling, psychology. Study says yelling is as detrimental as sexual abuse, which I still have struggles with, but you're the psychologist. I am not. The new 217 texter, and you're welcome to text in, 217-359-2255. Texter says, the new style of parenting has some very good points. My question is, why is the behavior of children becoming so much more volatile? One thing that is not being taught is respect to responsibility. What do you say to that, Brett?
Yes, I do think there are many different influences on kids' behavior now than years past. Certainly social media. There's a lot of volatility in our world. Kids are, I believe, still adjusting from the pandemic. And so we do recognize that there's a change in behavior, and teachers will say that. The focus does need to be on teaching that respect and responsibility. It is a matter of building that into that character, social and emotional learning into our everyday lives with kids at school, giving parents education. Also important to address mental health. Most people don't know that 20% of kids face a mental health challenge any given year. So that's 2 out of 10. So you think about a child's soccer team. 2 out of 10 of those children, each 10 of those children on that team are dealing with a mental health challenge, ADHD, anxiety, depression. And while we not think of that as misbehavior, certainly mental health challenges do influence and impact behavior.
Wait, no, is that because of societal stuff, Brad, or is it because it's always been there and we've never identified it?
It has always been there. Now, certainly we see increases in anxiety among young adults, let's say. So the world is a more anxious place. But it is true that we don't talk about mental health, and we haven't talked about mental health. And so that leads us to believe it's always been there. We've just kept it aside. So more people...
You go 1965. If you don't turn on Walter Cronkite, you don't read the paper, you're not hearing about squat. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything's on your phone, and we're exposing kids. I've been on this tangent for a number of years where I would ban the smartphone for anybody under 18 at this point. I really would. Okay. I mean, it's a net bad for under 18. It's
just unrealistic.
I'm just saying the problem is right in front of us in the right hand of our palm. That's where I'm telling you, it's worse than we think for adults too, Brad.
Well, and I know it used to be when the kid hit double digits, they got the phone. But I've seen a 6-month-old with the screen in front of them.
It's an electronic babysitter now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a concern. Back in the 60s, 80s, whenever it was, rumors and gossip, it took a lot of work to spread gossip.
Yeah, no, right.
And so teenagers are dealing with that fear of missing out, that comparison to others. And I will say that what you're saying does start with the parents. So if we don't want our kids being negatively influenced by social media and their screens, we have to model that and make sure that we're not sitting there at dinner on our phone rather than talking to our kids.
Yeah, but who taught us how to be parents, right? I mean, Breakfast Club, old movie, said you need a license to fish, but you don't need anything to be a parent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, we're flunking the unity at home thing, the foundation of faith. We're flunking.
What's the 3 prongs on a stool? The parents, the schools, and
the kiddo. I mean, you got to have a comment, but the parents, I don't know, they're struggling. They're single parents, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to make enough money to pay for stuff, and so you got heightened everything, Brad.
Yep, absolutely. And about the license, we aren't taught how to communicate. We're not even taught how to manage feelings. And I will say that each individual community does need to focus on how do we answer, what is the antidote to these problems that we're talking about. And that is parent education. That is equipping parents with tools for parenting effectively. So while it is a difficult world, I do know in the communities where we serve, we're focused on building community that does support families, and that's what everybody listening needs to be thinking about is what are those remedies to the problems that we're facing, because the problems are intense and many challenges. But for our kids, we've got to be intentional or else those problems will continue.
Not an easy thing. I think the most important thing anybody can do in their life is make sure their kids are good, because I don't know, who cares what board you're on? Who cares how much money you got?
That's right.
How are your kids doing?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the focus should be absolutely on raising the next
and we haven't even
generation.
touched on schools and how they should be disciplining our kids so that it's not so crazy in the classroom.
Well, right now we're just worried about staying safe in schools. Right? I mean, oh my gosh. Things have just really... Well, it's been a happy talk, Brad.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Welcome to your week here.
Brad Schwall, SCHWALL, President, Chief Executive Officer at the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology. How can people find you and your group?
The centercounseling.org is our website, and when you go to resources, we do have lots of tips on parenting and TV news segments as well. So the centercounseling.org, come check out some of our resources.
And to think a real key in your life is, what are your priorities, right? What are your priorities?
Absolutely.
That's where it really is.
And we can do that each day, and maybe we can turn our conversation positive and ask the question, what can you do today to encourage a kid, to encourage a parent, in parenting, and because we all are good enough, and that encouragement actually can lead us to live up to it.
Very good point, Brad.
And if you can, 2 parents are better than 1, right? I mean, that's proven.
We do have to respect the fact that there are single parents, and they can be excellent parents. Yep. We all need support. We all need somebody that's there to have our back, and we can find that in different ways.
Brad Schwall, thanks for your time. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
All right. From Dallas, Texas this morning on the Tapman's Towing phone line.
And a lot of parenting tips and more. Finding out about resources in our community, 65 plus on the vendors at Marketplace Mall between 11 and 4 this Saturday, October 28th. And you can find out more at disabilityresourceexpo.org.
All right, 7:49, some sports headlines. Brad, Underwood happy after our win Friday night.
116-65 over Ottawa.
Yeah.
Nice exhibition game.
So the next action that we'll see will be Sunday night.
Yes.
This Sunday night.
Against Kansas.
Kansas in town.
Already
Bill
October
Self,
29th, the 5 o'clock start.
Raising money for the poor people in Maui.
Maui strong.
Lahaina burned down pretty much. I believe that the banyan tree is going to live, though.
Is that right?
It's lost some, but my understanding is the banyan tree, which was famous, it was several blocks big.
Right.
Our kids have climbed on it.
Oh, my goodness.
And the whole downtown is gone. But the only other thing I think was a church that was untouched. Is that not a God moment? I don't know how that can...
I should look into that
Look into under church in Maui and
Okay.
see, and you'll see a picture, and somehow it avoided being burned to the ground like everything else. And the fact that the banyan tree was so old and so amazing, that thing just went on and on and on. I think they thought that they lost some of it, but it will survive. But we'd been up and down those streets several times. And, of course, our basketball team had been to Maui many times. So was Kansas. So they thought this was an appropriate thing to do. Well, it was really a frustrating end to the Illinois football game and just crushing, really, because we had the game. We really did. It was a winnable game. I didn't think for a second until, obviously, second half that there was no way. The crowd was fantastic, really into homecoming. 54,000 people. It wasn't one of those games where you walk in, find your seat, just sit over there. No, it was.
Nope, you needed to be in the right area. I know we adjusted a few times.
I know, because you got to be in your seat number because there were actually people there.
54,000, that's awesome.
The sellout 60. So it's just, brutal because it was right there. And as it works, I know, I always think stupid, but Iowa lost, meaning the last 4 games, we win them all, we play for the Big Ten championship.
Agreed.
That was what was going to happen. I mean, and you look at, they're not going to win. You had Indiana, Northwestern, at Minnesota. Now they beat, at Iowa, they won. So, but they're winnable. But if you beat Maryland, that was the whole premise. You had Wisconsin beat Brett Bielema after the game.
Obviously, a very tough one to swallow. Give a lot of credit to our fans. The homecoming crowd out there today was absolutely awesome. Know that we haven't been able to secure a win for these guys and the fans, but to show up the way they did today on a beautiful day, and really thought we did enough to win this game. I know our preparation, guys were into it, locked in. I really thought offense, defense, special teams felt good about the plan coming in. Obviously could execute some things, have a lot of guys stepping up into new roles or new opportunities, and I thought on offense, to get Caden more involved in the game. Luke continues to do good things in the creative department with his legs. He did a lot of really different things. Got a couple guys involved offensively in the throw game. Defensively, we had a few guys get back healthy, but we're just paper thin a couple times at certain positions, and just the flow of the game was very frustrating. And one thing we have now is obviously a bye week to kind of gather our thoughts, and we got a 4-game schedule that's got all Big Ten teams in front of us, and we obviously got to take it one game at a time, but at least those 4 games on the back end, you'd hope to be able to get ourselves in a position to be a little bit of a light at the end of the year that's positive.
Okay, Brett Bielema after the game, he said, hey, we're appealing the targeting call against Johnny Newton. There's a really good picture on Twitter which shows he does lead with his hands, and it was such a bang, but he just came with incredible NFL-type speed and hit the guy, and it was more of a face mask on the top of his shoulder, but it looked like it might have clipped his chin. But it wasn't like the targeting right at his helmet to helmet. It wasn't anything like that. And you can make a rule and say, or you can say based on the rule, you could call that, or you could not call that. They called roughing the passer as it was, which again, I don't even know if it, anyway. It was just a hard deal. And then, again, losing your best player, the momentum was gone. It did not feel any way we were going to win that game after that happened. Just that sinking feeling that we felt. But it was 27 seconds left. They run a lineman into the end zone that was eligible, wide open.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I know.
All right, 7:53.
Just to finish our thought about some of the Maui fire stuff, that church did survive, and it was built in 1846. Reverend Monsignor Terrence Watanabe says it's an incredible miracle that the church survived even as nearby buildings were destroyed. And the huge banyan tree, charred by the wildfires in Maui, sprouting new green leaves,
Amazing.
giving hope that all was not completely lost in the flames.
But, I mean, if you're not a believer, how would you explain the church? It just remarkable. Buildings around the church burned, but not the church. All right, 7:54. Back with your weather next. Always a pleasure to talk about Donnie up at Long Branch Steakhouse there in beautiful downtown Gifford. Well, you know what, friends? It's never too early to make your Christmas party reservations at the Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford. They are taking party reservations for December. Dates are filling up quickly. Don't be left out this year. If you want a fabulous night at the Long Branch for your office party, get it done now. Connect with the Long Branch Steakhouse and book your Christmas party. Long Branch Steakhouse, beautiful downtown Gifford. We're doing ours there.
Yes, we are.
I'm doing the ribeye, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese.
And really, you could just place that order for probably everybody on the staff to make it easy.
Want the big ribeye?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited about that. We're doing ours there, and he only has like 4 dates left. So if you want the Long Branch, it seats 54.
Mm-hmm.
It's
just have your company take over downtown Gifford at the Long Branch.
And your people will love it. Absolutely. We have fun.
We do.
5 till.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Panhandle this Saturday. Nice wind in store for mid to late October. Changes ahead, though, come the weekend and more so to next week. 68 today with a mostly sunny sky and increasing southeast to south wind. Not so cool tonight. Skies fair. Dawn temperature with a south wind down to 54. Tomorrow, windy and warmer day with temperatures well above average and about 77 with a partly cloudy sky and a south wind 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of showers break out after midnight tomorrow night. Lows near 60, and a windy and mild day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy. Couple of showers in the morning again for the afternoon. The high at about 73 degrees. Plenty of wet weather ahead for Thursday, Friday, into the front part of the weekend. High temperatures on Thursday at 75, 77 on Friday. Showers continue for the weekend and back into much cooler and colder weather. Highest temperatures expected into the 60s Saturday and Sunday. May not get out of the 40s around here by mid next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Roches, Greg Soldier.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
If your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars, here's my price, and you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground, plus sewer, water line, and sump pump repairs. For details on this great 45-year family-owned business, just go to fredcu.com. That's fredcu.com.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign. Way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries open 6 days a week.
Ready for some much-needed pampering and girl time? Merle Norman is just the place. Join in on the fun and frolicking on Witch's Day Out, Friday, October 27th, starting at 11 at Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio. We're talking door prizes, a spinning wheel with prizes and treats. Gather your friends and jump on your broom for a day of fun. Learn what works for your skin and rock some hot new looks. It's the fun Witch's Day Out at Merle Norman, Friday, October 27th, starting at 11.
All right, going to break for the news and come back with our second hour of the program. Do not forget, it's the Jay Lehman Experience today.
Yes.
What will Jay say? It was hard. I try and keep an arm's length. I don't want sports to really affect me longer than an hour. It's a hard challenge, but that one, that hitches. That was hard. And imagine being all in, like the coaches and their families and everything else, and how brutal of a loss that was.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Because we led the whole game until the fourth quarter.
We were going to win that football game. Yeah. We deserved to win the football game, but we didn't win the football game. It was just hard, and it happens. And so you got to shake it off and move on. But
and we'll be talking with Lou Altmaier, too. Yep. So that's in the 4 o'clock hour.
So, okay, yes, Luke Altmaier, had a terrific, and he's quick and faster than you'd think because he gets through the gap and all of a sudden it's 15 yards. And he had some wonderful runs. He really is our leading rusher. Caden Fagan looks like he's 90-some yards rushing. I like it.
That was his second start as like a freshman, right?
It's just the conference we're in. This is the last year for the West. It's just people are saying, here, please win this. It's just so wide open. And that game would have honestly given us a shot to win the conference West. Anyway, just move on. Whatever. Okay.
And we got a bye week to reset at least.
Yeah. All right, we're going to break for this. We'll be right back. The new phone etiquette. You need to know this. Who to leave messages for, who to even call.
And be polite and be brief.
That's coming up next. It's WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, ESPN 93.5. It's Diane. I'm Stevie Jay, and it's time for the news at 8 o'clock. We'll be right back.
More Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News, and more than 5,000 Palestinians are now reported by the Gaza Health Ministry to have died in Israeli strikes since the Hamas terrorist attacks in Israel October 7th. President Biden released a joint statement with the leaders of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and the United Kingdom, welcoming the release of 2 American hostages from Gaza, reiterating the right of Israel to defend itself, and urging Israel to protect civilians. The president also spoke again with Israel's leader.
Regarding that call with Prime Minister Netanyahu, the White House said this, quote, the leaders affirmed that they will now be continuing flow of this critical assistance into Gaza. The president expressed appreciation for Israel's support in helping to accommodate the release of 2 American hostages. That release happened Friday. Of course, President Biden spoke with the mother and daughter by phone before departing for Delaware. We saw that happen on Friday. And the administration is still trying to sort out how many of the 10 Americans that are still unaccounted for, how many of them are being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza, or how many of the 10 are already dead.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. A third convoy of aid trucks is being sent in from Egypt to Gaza, but with no fuel, and hospitals report scrounging to keep generators and life-saving medical equipment running. There's a closed-door meeting this evening for House Republicans to hear from 9 candidates for House Speaker, including Kevin Hern from Oklahoma.
You actually have to know what the problems are before you can come up with a solution, and I think I'm best fit to do that.
Congressman Hern on Fox and Friends First. Former President Trump's civil business fraud trial in New York City is adjourned for today due to COVID exposures. The manhunt continues for the Nashville police chief's son, wanted for shooting at 2 police officers investigating a stolen vehicle outside a store in Laverne, Tennessee. That's a Nashville suburb. Those officers survived. Chief John Drake says that he's had minimal contact with his 38-year-old son, John Jr., over many years, that they're estranged, and that he now needs to be found and held accountable for his actions. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
New Jersey Senate Democrat Bob Menendez is due back in court today to enter a plea on the newest charges against him.
Menendez and his wife Nadine have been indicted on additional charges accusing them of conspiring to act as foreign agents for the government of Egypt. Prosecutors say they, along with a New Jersey businessman from Egypt, wanted to help out the country's military and intelligence agencies. Their planned arraignment for last Wednesday was postponed until today. Now, this is all on top of the initial charges alleging Menendez and his wife accepted a luxury car, cash, and gold to help out Egyptian officials, as well as the businessman, intervening with the Department of Agriculture to help him remain the sole provider of halal-approved meat products from the U.S. to Egypt. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Police in Detroit have not identified a suspect or a motive for the fatal stabbing of synagogue president Samantha Wall Saturday morning.
Wall led the Isaac Agree downtown synagogue. She was also a campaign staffer for Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel and a former aide to Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, who posted this after the funeral. Quote, she was a proud Jewish woman and a deep believer in the cause of interfaith dialogue, and the crowd full of people of all faiths represented that commitment.
Fox's Brooks Singman. Negotiations are set to resume tomorrow between TV and movie studios and streaming companies and the striking actors union.
It's been almost 2 weeks since the talks between SAG-AFTRA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers abruptly stopped, with the management side saying they were too far apart. The restart confirmation came over the weekend in a joint statement after the strike had hit the 100-day mark. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos told Variety on Saturday that he's, quote, an optimist about finding an agreement with the union. He made the comments during a gala at his home, saying they're, quote, trying very hard to get a deal in place. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Dow futures are down 141 points ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. People could be paying more for their power bills depending on a decision from the Illinois Commerce Commission. It'll determine in the next few months whether to allow rate hikes for major utility companies across the state. An administrative judge within the ICC ruled that the rate hikes are necessary for the companies, but the commission will have the final say. A call for more security at one Champaign elementary school being answered. Security upgrades coming to Booker T. Washington STEAM Academy. Teachers, students, and parents demanding more attention to safety after a shooting near the school last month. School district assigning a floating security guard with a security team to patrol the area during lunch hours. A bill introduced to address the road safety and traffic for Illinois drivers. It comes following serious crashes on I-70 corridor, including a hazmat crash on Saturday, September 30th on Route 40. 5 were killed after a tanker of anhydrous ammonia overturned. House Bill 4182 creates the Construction Zone Safe Detour Acts. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Hello. It's 8 o'clock hour on the first Monday, or next to last. We have the 23rd, 30th, and November, a week from Wednesday.
Yep.
Solye says next week we might not get out of the 40s.
Wow.
And so that's kind of, well, look at the dang calendar, man. That's what I would say.
I know.
Okay, so we got weather brought to you by Carl.
You can count on Carl for the flu shots, COVID vaccinations, a guide for care recommendations to make you feel better faster, and they're hiring. Learn more at carl.org.
All right, Mr. Meteorologist Greg Solye. I saw Bill Atchison. I saw Todd Salin. Todd is recovering. He's fighting cancer.
Okay.
He looked great. Gave him a big hug.
All right.
Bill Atchison said that Solye is really, really good, and I listen for Greg Solye. That's what.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for the compliments.
It's by the way, Pitmaster Tim Onstad is on his way to Pine Bluff, Arkansas this morning to a big competition this weekend. He and Donna. I passed by I had to use my nose in the crowd to find him.
I could not find him.
Found him.
Okay.
Anyway, I had
the orange and blue flag on Saturday.
I had 2 ribs.
That's slabs or individual ones?
Just individuals.
I'd have to have a couple whole slabs.
Yeah, but it was kind of a private party, but I just kind of snuck in there and said, hey. Anyway, it was delicious.
Keep it on the down.
Yeah, Tim will be on the Smoke Show on Thursday, and we'll talk to him from Arkansas, and he's one of the best, and his brisket. Yeah, you had the brisket, so
yes, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
About the best I think I've ever had. So, I'm a little envious. I could go for at least a half slab, even at this early hour.
That's right. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solye. What you got this week, partner?
Well, yeah, kind of, let's get it done while you may, where you can, the best you can. Safety first, as we say in the agribusiness world. If you got harvest in mind, it's been generally ahead of the game in our particular part of the Corn Belt and points on westward. We'll get back at it. Going to have to wait probably a couple of 2 or 3 weeks. Yes, that's the degree of wet weather coming our way. But then again, drought relief for the worst areas. Rain coming on down through a good part of Texas. The worst drought areas there. Oklahoma will get into it. And that's the moisture fetch that comes up our way to later this week. And Yeah, kind of a November feel beginning here about a week from now. Out the door this morning, 41 Willard and Savoy, 39 Rantoul later on today. Nice one. Get out and enjoy. Sunshine, breezy, milder. 68. We'll bottom out in the 50s tonight. Partly cloudy, windy, warmer for the day tomorrow. Another extended play hooky in the lunchtime hour day tomorrow at 77. A couple of showers near 60 late tomorrow night. Wednesday, a couple of showers morning and afternoon. We'll rubber stamp it for Thursday, 73 Wednesday, 75 Thursday, 77 Friday, but that's going to be our rainiest day. Several rounds of showers and thunderstorms, and then showery weather for the weekend. High temperatures in the 60s, not out of the 40s for early next week and probably beyond. Inch or two worth of rain across the area as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, so the rules of using phones have changed. There's no doubt. I know you're going, huh? Because you're used to the wall phone in the kitchen. And you got the curly thingy that always got all tangled up.
Yes.
An etiquette expert, best-selling author, keynote speaker, runs Show Up Well Counseling, an executive protocol company based in Austin, Texas. Jan Goss. How are you, Jan?
I'm so good. I'm glad that you picked up the phone so we can connect.
I mean, yeah. Alexander Graham Bell's the man back in the day when he invented the phone. We used to have party lines, and the first Champagne phone book that I ever saw had like 5 numbers. I mean, you just didn't need much to get to. Yeah. I mean, our population when Red Grange was here 100 years ago was 15,000 people.
Right.
That's the population. Now it's like over 200,000.
Right.
Anyway, Jan, things have changed
Things
etiquette-wise.
have evolved.
What's that?
Things have evolved.
They have evolved, and they tend to multiply and compound with technology to where I remember vividly asking the wonderful Mrs. A from high school, I said, what is that? She said, it's a machine that will heat up your pizza.
Wow.
Microwave? What's a microwave? Dang, Jan. Okay, so what is the current etiquette of phone? You don't call everybody. They don't want to talk to you anymore. They want to text you or
don't want to be awkward.
Oh.
It's true. I think the important thing to keep in mind is that the goal is connecting. You want to connect. So we have to meet people where they are and not expect them to come to our way of doing things, because it is a little antiquated now to leave a voicemail.
So
even if you're short and sweet,
nobody wants to listen to the voicemail. they can see you call, but nobody wants to hear it. So, I mean, I think what we need to do is we need a survey. Where are you?
Okay.
I need to know, man, because I don't know what generation. We have letters
You're
every.
Right.
What generation are you from? And then I'll know. Then I need a laminated key from you, Jam. Tell me Z is here, X is here, Boomers are here.
Right.
We didn't know the Boomers.
Yes.
The Boomers are still on the wall phone in the kitchen.
Right.
Well, it's always appropriate to ask someone, what is your best form of communication?
Okay.
Would you like for me to text? Can I give you a phone call? I still like it. I have 20-year-old family members, and they call me. They pick up the phone and call me because they know that's what I like.
Right. Okay. So, but we now can talk into my wrist and walk along and look like we've got mental issues when we were actually on the pods and things in your ears, and
That's
you're just
right.
talking to yourself. I mean, we have.
I'm guilty.
Exactly.
It's efficient, but if you're in an airport, people think you're talking to them.
Right.
It's just like, wow, I don't know what you're doing. You sound weird.
You are hitting on my pet peeve, and this article didn't even address that. Is that when you have a conversation, it should only be between two people.
Yeah, but if you're sitting behind me in the airplane going, well, I don't know, but get that report. And I'm going, first of all, why do you think I want to know you're so cool? Because you can do that.
Exactly.
Why do I want to know that? I don't want to know that. And yet it's some sort of a statusy thing or something.
I think you hit the nail on the head on that. The important thing is that we connect.
Okay, so we want to connect. So if I have a call later today and it's an owner of a business, I never make a mistake on a text, do I?
If someone calls you or if someone texts you,
just if I'm wanting to connect with a person that is a business and I have their cell phone, I would much be more texting short, sweet, really quick versus a voicemail that I leave for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
So if it's a transactional communication,
Yep.
a text is preferred.
Yeah. Okay.
If there's any emotion attached to it, or if there's an issue you need to solve, people need to hear your voice, even if it's in a voice text.
And are people missing emails more and more because they get 190 a day?
Right. And it could go to spam.
Yeah.
You know, that happens for sure. Texting is the fastest, quickest form of communication. And the younger generations like it if we text them. And certainly before we call, if we're going to, they're not going to answer your phone call.
A whole lot of people are in the world of sales. What would you recommend on how they mine for new business? Because people don't really want to see you. They don't want to cold call anymore. They don't want to.
They don't have time.
What do you do, Jan?
Well, there are some pretty elaborate systems in the email world for sales teams. And in terms of fishing for business, email is still the best communication for that.
Email?
Yes.
Yeah. But I never respond to anything
again,
that says,
it depends on the
"Dear
person."
customer."
So, yeah,
I don't even look at that.
Exactly.
Dear producer.
The shorter, the better.
Well, it just
better.
needs to be, "Hey, Jan, I got an idea. Got a minute?" That kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather,
Exactly.
as opposed to, "Dear person, mass mailing, I reached 12,000 people."
Yes.
No, you didn't. You reached
Yeah.
about 8 because
That's
of
right.
spam. It's just
Exactly.
how it works.
Exactly.
Okay, Jan,
Yes.
don't leave
Make it
voicemail.
short and sweet.
Short and sweet. The goal is to connect. That's
Connect.
our goal. It is though. Let's hit the bed here. Very much like the Jetsons anymore. Who'd have thunk we'd have had a Rosie and all those old things? Anyway, Jan, nice to meet you. How can people connect with Jan Goss?
Come to showupwell.com. That's showupwell.com. I'd love to connect.
All right. Thanks for your time. We appreciate you. Austin, Texas. Oh, yeah.
Etiquette expert.
George Jetson. Anybody know the words of this? You're over 60 if you do.
What if you had this as your, Halloween costume or something? Would people know who you are?
What was the name of the dog that they walk at the end? What was the name?
They mentioned Elroy already.
No, but what's the dog's name?
I thought the dog was Elroy.
Elroy's the little boy.
Okay.
Astro.
Thank you.
You betcha.
That does sound right.
Yeah, let me prove how old I am. Yeah, that's impressive. Okay, Diane's got a little sports headline.
I do. And when it comes to the Illini, Wisconsin beat Illinois in the fourth quarter. The final was 25-21. I think over 54,000 fans in for homecoming. What a blast in the tailgating. Let's focus on the positive. Our next game will be...
because I don't care anymore.
Okay.
I had a wonderful
Johnny
time
Newton
tailgating.
situation.
No, it was electricity. I didn't have a wisp of doubt in the first half. I said, we're just going to win this. The energy is unbelievable. And yet, our bugaboo all year is into the half. We have given up points every stinking time. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jay Lehman after 3 today.
Yes,
and
that's right.
Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, who I think is going to be super here for the next 2 years. That's huge. I think we got a quarterback now.
Absolutely. And when it comes to Sunday's NFL action, Cleveland over the Colts 39-38. We had Denver over Green Bay 19-17. And the Bears came out on top over the Las Vegas Raiders 30-12.
What's the kid's name? Benjant, the backup quarterback,
right,
who I think has the most touchdown passes in the history of football because he played Division II, and he's a CrossFitter. So his training is CrossFit, and he played great.
Okay.
I mean, he got the game ball. He led their, I don't even know his name, but he played.
This is for the Bears. Justin Fields' backup.
Exactly.
Justin had a thumb issue.
Yeah, thumb
or
issue,
something?
and they don't know if and when.
Okay.
He's coming. I mean, next week. I don't know, but I know that this kid, if he doesn't play next week, and the Bears won 30-12, they're going to say, "Well, why don't you play the other kid?"
Right.
Don't they say the most popular guy on the football team is a second-team quarterback? But this guy did play well. Congratulations! And his whole family was there at Soldier Field. He got the game ball. What a great day for him.
Awesome. Illinois over Ottawa on Friday night in exhibition basketball action, 116-65. Next up will be Kansas on Sunday at 5.
Wow.
And that's going to be a great game. Luke Goody to talk about all of this tomorrow during the drive. So make sure you're here listening.
Be on after 4, I think, for Luke Goody. He'll be in Philo. He's coming to Philo tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So, nice young man, and he did this last year for us. Looking forward to it.
Our volleyball team beating Rutgers. Now we're 10-10 on the season. Next up will be Indiana Wednesday at Huff Hall at 7 o'clock. So go Illini all around.
Okay. Greg says he's pretty good this week. Some rain coming.
Wonder how it'll be for our trick-or-treaters at the end of the month.
Going to be cold.
Okay.
He said next week, maybe 40s.
Ooh.
Check your Fox Business Minute coming up, 8:20.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Benham this Saturday. Some nice mild days ahead. Plenty of rain ahead. Get it done while you may, where you can, and the best you can over the second half of the week. And a couple of more outbreaks expected over the weekend as we transition into more or less a mid to late November feel come early to mid next week. In the meantime, mostly sunny, breezy, milder afternoon highs today on your Monday at about 68. The southeast to south wind increasing at 12 to 22 and gusty. Not so cool tonight, fair and in the 50s. Tomorrow, windy, warmer, partly cloudy, 77 for the high. That's almost 15 above average with the south wind 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of showers break out after midnight tomorrow night. Lows down to about 60 and up to 73 we climb with a couple of showers both morning and afternoon on Wednesday. Breezy, mild weather Thursday. More rain ahead both morning and afternoon. The high about 75. A couple of showers and thunderstorms 77 on Friday. Showers for the weekend. High temperatures in the 60s, but by Monday, Tuesday next week, only in the 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's another big merger in the oil and gas business. Chevron is buying Hess for $53 billion. The deal comes less than 2 weeks after ExxonMobil revealed plans to buy Pioneer Natural Resources. Electric car company Fisker has lowered prices for some vehicles. The Ocean Extreme SUV will cost less, now under $62,000, and customers who already ordered or purchased the model will receive a $7,500 refund. Kim Kardashian is launching a line of Skims clothing for men. It will include boxers, briefs, and undershirts. Kardashian says she sees an opportunity for higher-end products for men in a category dominated by mass brands. Prices will range from $16 to $54. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Janice Dean, Fox News senior meteorologist, and my brand new podcast, the Janice Dean Podcast, is launching on the Fox News Podcast Network. Every week, I'll be focusing in on a person, a place, or a thing that deserves your attention because it makes the world a better place. Be sure to subscribe to the Janice Dean Podcast at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't forget to spread the sunshine.
Well, if you are getting married, you might want to talk money.
Yeah.
With your significant other. And just talk to me what your history is.
Where
do you have any?
At? Should we combine our accounts?
Yep. Credit scores, credit card debt, which is really, really hard because it's 20 to 30% interest right now. Nuts. So get with each other and, talk about whether you want your own individual accounts or how you're going to do that. Busey's there for everything, your personal stuff, your mortgage, obviously business, the cash management, wealth management. And if you say, I don't have any wealth, well, if you just start when you get married and you're going to all set aside $200 a month, you'll like that when you're 65. Visit Busey.com, or you can stop by one of their convenient locations today. Busey since 1868 and still called Busey. That's pretty remarkable. I'm not sure anybody else in town can do that except the University of Illinois.
That's right.
That's just kind of what it is. Busey, member FDIC.
The world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. The Circus Sports Illinois app is ready for action. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. CircusSports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
With the leaves and temperatures beginning to fall, it's time to make sure those furnaces are in great running order. Get that furnace tuned up so it doesn't let you down on the cold nights. Dogtown is the People's Choice #1 HVAC company again in 2023. Ask about the current 0% financing offer on all Lennox high comfort systems and single component units for qualifying applicants. The number's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Hi, I'm JT Barnhart, the president of OSF Heart of Mary Medical Center. Really want to promote our emergency room services at Heart of Mary. Getting ready to do a campaign just to show the community what a great service that is. When you're in a health emergency and you need care, our team at Heart of Mary will take great care of you and we'll get you in and out. Our wait times are usually less than 10 minutes. Door to provider times have run under 15 minutes, and so you're going to see a physician in less than 20 minutes when you come to Heart of Mary ER. I think that's a sensational service for the community. One other area I want to promote is that OSF Heart of Mary is in network with your health insurance provider. We take all insurances, everything that is in the community, all payers, our providers, our hospital, our ancillary departments, our new surgery center, and our urgent cares accept your insurance. And so if you're having trouble getting in with a provider, know that OSF can see you timely, quickly, and we take your plan.
All righty. So the Stever, the program we invented where I give you money to actually go to really good business. Today's really good business is Curtis Orchard. And I kind of planned it on this day, knowing that we had an off football weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Might have to dodge some raindrops, so pick your time because you got till the end of the month. I'm going to give you a couple extra days.
Well, the beginning of this week is the time to use it, aren't we? 78 for a high tomorrow. So 3902 South Duncan Road. They're open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 6 on Sunday.
So you go to gostever.com. You can register if you've never joined, and then you'll be available to get my texts and offers. And today's offer is $50. I'm giving you $50 to go to Curtis Orchard. And when you check out, you got to spend all $50. You can't break it up and go get some apples. You have to just do it all at once.
Right.
Whenever you do that, just show up once to the they got quite a few registers now. They got more open registers than any Walmart at any time. Let's just say that. It's kind of a dig at Walmart.
There's definitely a pivot on these big box stores.
Why does Walmart make, this is really off course, why does Walmart make 40 aisles of checkout and have 2 people and then 14 blue jackets standing around? I don't get it.
I have started to pivot. I'm just doing it myself at the
Well, people go to totally do it because, I mean, Aldi's gone to that.
Yep.
And they still have one register, but they always have people helping.
That's right.
The Germans. Let's just talk about the Germans. The Germans are so efficient. You go to Germany, if you've been there, remember all the log stacks? There's not one log out of place. They just kind of know the systematic way to do it neatly. Mm-hmm. Aldi is German, and they've got the system. Because when I check out at Aldi, it's fast.
Yeah.
So the barcodes on their stuff is covers the whole package, so it's easy to aim it.
It's good.
Anyway, where was I? Curtis Orchard. If you want $50 at Curtis Orchard.
And plenty of great staff there to help you and check you out. And again, you're using the $50 at one register. And that could be taking some people to the Flying Monkey Cafe for lunch between 11 and 2 in October and having some of the homemade favorites. The You Pick 'em apple choices, Golden Delicious, Honeycrisp, Jonathan, Evercrisp. I mean, that's a terrific experience. And to teach the kids about the bees and just being outside. It's just a blast.
Okay, so go stever.com and just enter. You'll get an email tonight after 8 if you're one of our winners. You'll have to the end of the month to get over there and enjoy my $50. Then, when it's done, you push complete on your phone and you'll get a survey that you must thoughtfully, casually, give me some stuff.
Yeah.
Give me something I can help with.
Yeah,
Randy
take note
Graham.
of some of the people's names and say, hey,
right.
Marlene Breen was awesome when she checked me out. She goes to my church.
Or something that maybe you can say, I would suggest this. It might help with parking kind of thing. They'd love to know.
Yeah.
They're really open for that.
That's right.
All of our guests appear on the Tapman's Towing phone line. Coming up, we'll do news. And then after that, I'm going to play a little Brett Bielema after the game, a little extended. And same with Brett Underwood. After basketball, impossible to know exactly where we are. We were 14 out of 42 from 3, which is 33%, which would be like 4 or 5 percentage points better than last year. But again, 42 threes is a lot. But then again, we were up 54 points at one point. So I think it was just kind of get your legs under you and run a little bit. And this is an NAIA team we played, so small.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to win those, and they couldn't guard anybody that we had because we're Division I, Power 5 conference.
For sure.
But it's an exhibition.
It is.
They love probably coming because they can see where they are.
Yeah.
And in NAIA terms, they might be a very, very good team for all we know, but it's just a way to get started. Kansas will be fun because of the Bill Self element and the Hunter Dickinson. Boo! formerly of Michigan.
Right, and has he ever won here?
No.
I didn't
And you
think so.
You can't count this.
But
This is
still, okay.
Doesn't count, Hunter.
It still would be great to beat him.
Doesn't count, Hunter.
Again.
Doesn't count. Except when we win, then it counts.
Yeah.
Then we petition the NCAA to. Anyway, I don't even know how they'll do that. And if you say, well, we're just going to go up and down, we're not keeping score kind of thing, then people have their own notebook. They will keep score. And we'll know on Twitter,
especially when we're
we'll know on X right after the game what the score was and who had what. Because people will be out there.
I know.
Kind of a little
Even though it doesn't count.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's Kansas, and then we beat Kansas. Or, also, we're going to try and glean where we are. And if it looks like Kansas is totally a dominant, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll be very competitive, be very probably, like, you look at both teams and say, yeah, they got a lot of pieces, but we got some guys that we think will be. That's kind of what I think will happen. Just don't get hurt. That's where Luke Goody got hurt last year. So just go play hard, play your game. But dang it, he stepped on somebody's foot.
Don't play too hard.
Just go after. No, you got to play hard.
Okay.
These guys don't know another speed. Brad wants them to play as hard as they can and then take a break, come back, and then. But if you play with that intensity the whole thing, that's what we expect. That's what we want, is we want them to really, really get after it. So we are into basketball. That's fun. I think November 6th is Eastern Illinois.
Okay.
I think they're in town again. Last year it was not, was kind of competitive. So it'll be interesting to see the makeup of this team, the chemistry of this team, see some guys you don't know. There's a number of them you don't know. You don't know who they are. You don't know their face. You don't know their number. But that's just going to be acclimation period. ESPN Plus, which is a subscription. That will be kind of the early games. We're going to miss some of those. And if you don't have Peacock, you're going to miss some really good January Big Ten games, FYI. And then most everything else will be on a channel you can get. Okay, Monday morning, October 23, we'll be right back after our news. We'll play some Brett. We'll play some Brad. And then Jay Lehman after 3 today with the boys, and Luke Altmaier after 4.
Hear the show anytime at StevieJay.com.
All right, be right back. Here's your news. Local news coming up next with Greg's Weather to follow. Stand by.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. House Republicans will vote on a third candidate to put up for Speaker 3 weeks after ousting Speaker McCarthy. One of the 9 emerging through the Golden Arches, Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern.
I spent 25 years in business working with the largest brand in the world, McDonald's, bringing 3,500 franchisees together all over the country to pull on the same rope, so to speak, and then taking that experience when I came to Congress. And this year, I've led the Republican Study Committee, which is a caucus of all the other caucuses.
On Fox and Friends First, concerns the Israel-Hamas war is spreading. The State Department now warning Americans to leave Lebanon immediately due to Hezbollah terrorists exchanging rocket fire with Israel. On a terrible anniversary, the terror bombing of the U.S. Marine barracks in Beirut 40 years ago, 220 U.S. Marines on a peacekeeping mission killed as they slept. America's listening to Fox News.
Make plans to pop into Pia's at 1609 West Springfield Avenue for happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday with 16-ounce drafts, just $3.25. Well drinks, $4. Taco Tuesdays, get you big tacos for $2.50. $2 off on tequila shots and margaritas, $5. Get Mexican beers for $4 each. Go south of the border on Tuesdays at Pia's. Then there's Whiskey Wednesdays and karaoke a few times a month on Fridays with $4 Fireball shots. Pia's is the place to party any day of the week.
Here's a look at local news. An attorney with the Illinois Comptroller's Office out of a job over anti-Semitic comments she made on Instagram. Comptroller's Office announced they fired the employee, and a screenshot of the Instagram exchange was reposted to X. During the exchange, the lawyer reportedly said, "All you Zionists will pay, and Hitler should have eradicated all of you." Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services will temporarily pause new enrollees for the health benefits for immigrant seniors program. The pause will take effect November the 6th. HFS previously announced that the new HBIS enrollment would be temporarily paused at 16,500 individuals, and enrollment benchmark the program is expected to reach in the coming weeks. Illinois' unemployment rate up. The Department of Employment Security says the state's jobless rate increased by 0.3% last month to 4.4. However, non-farm payroll jobs decreased by 9,500 in September to a record high, surpassing pre-pandemic levels. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hi, I'm JT Barnhart, the president of OSF Heart of Mary Medical Center. Really want to promote our emergency room services at Heart of Mary. Getting ready to do a campaign just to show the community what a great service that is. When you're in a health emergency and you need care, our team at Heart of Mary will take great care of you and we'll get you in and out. Our wait times are usually less than 10 minutes. Door to provider times have run under 15 minutes, and so you're going to see a physician in less than 20 minutes when you come to Heart of Mary ER. I think that's a sensational service for the community. One other area I want to promote is that OSF Heart of Mary is in network with your health insurance provider. We take all insurances, everything that is in the community, all payers, our providers, our hospital, our ancillary departments, our new surgery center, and our urgent cares accept your insurance. And so if you're having trouble getting in with a provider, know that OSF can see you timely, quickly, and we take your plan.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
If your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars, here's my price, and you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground, plus sewer, water line, and sump pump repairs. For details on this great 45-year family-owned business, just go to fredcu.com. That's fredcu.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Panhandle this Saturday. Nice wind in store for mid to late October. Changes ahead, though, come the weekend and more so to next week. 68 today with a mostly sunny sky and increasing southeast to south wind. Not so cool tonight. Skies fair. Dawn temperature with a south wind down to 54. Tomorrow, windy and warmer day with temperatures well above average at about 77 with a partly cloudy sky and a south wind 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of showers break out after midnight tomorrow night. Lows near 60, and a windy and mild day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy, couple of showers in the morning again for the afternoon. The high at about 73 degrees. Plenty of wet weather ahead for Thursday, Friday into the front part of the weekend. High temperatures on Thursday at 75, 77 on Friday. Showers continue for the weekend and back into much cooler and colder weather. Highest temperatures expected into the 60s Saturday and Sunday. May not get out of the 40s around here by mid next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Soldier.
All right, good to have you here. It's 8:36, ESPN 93.5. All right, so a really hard loss. We're covering that extensively. Then boys will talk about this afternoon. Jay Lehman after 3.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, after 4, who I think had a really good game. We struggled late, obviously. Couldn't get a first down after about the first half of the third quarter. It was a little harder. I'm telling you, the wind was a huge factor. We drove all the way down. Got that final touchdown with Caden Fagan, and just he looked like Chase Brown at that point where he just waited and then zoop 12 yards into the end zone.
Yeah.
And was really, really, really good. And then you felt pretty good at 21-7.
Mm-hmm.
Then you switched the wind. The wind was a big deal. It's hard to throw against that wind. And
we were rooting for the cheerleaders carrying those big flags.
Oh,
they were like totally slanted and trying to run with everybody else.
There is a picture that the best one I've seen. It's on Twitter, and it shows Johnny leading with his hands and his face mask. In this picture, just straight forward. His head is straight forward.
That's right.
And then, as the speed of the play, head is clearly near his neck, but it's not a targeting from the standpoint leading with the crown of your helmet. He led with his hands.
I know.
And the picture's on X, formerly Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you send to the Big Ten right there and say,
right.
Does that look like targeting?
So if I search Johnny Newton, is it underneath his Twitter, I wonder?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know who even posted. It might have been Brett Bielema's line. I don't know if he did it.
Okay.
Anyway, I took a picture of it because, well, man, that lost the game.
That's right.
Brett Bielema after the game.
Obviously a very tough one to swallow. Give a lot of credit to our fans. The homecoming crowd out there today was absolutely awesome. I know that we haven't been able to secure win for these guys and the fans, but to show up the way they did today on a beautiful day, and really thought we did enough to win this game. I know our preparation, guys were into it, locked in. I really thought offense, defense, special teams felt good about the plan coming in. Obviously could execute some things, have a lot of guys stepping up into new roles or new opportunities, and I thought on offense, to get Caden more involved in the game. Luke continues to do good things in the creative department with his legs. He did a lot of really different things. Got a couple guys involved offensively in the throw game. Defensively, we had a few guys get back healthy, but we're just paper thin a couple times at certain positions, and just the flow of the game was very frustrating. And one thing we have now is obviously a bye week to kind of gather our thoughts, and we got a 4-game schedule that's got all Big Ten teams in front of us, and we obviously got to take it one game at a time. But at least those 4 games on the back end, you'd hope to be able to get ourselves in a position to be a little bit of a light at the end of the year that's positive.
What kind of explanation did you get on what was called targeting for Johnny?
0. I've been in this league a long time. Everybody's always going to, have their opinions on things, and I love the Big Ten. I love the officials, what they are, but I literally had some things, not only just this game, but over the course of the year, I'm just tired of it. I can't handle it. I don't understand it. Very frustrating. There's just a small synopsis at the end. I need those timeouts, right? And I had to call a timeout because they clapped, which made our guys jump, right? And I had to point it out to them because they could do it on the next play, and if they're going to allow it. So now they're down a timeout. Obviously, then at the end of the half, they're at the end of the game, they have a big play, get it down to the 5-yard line. We see them sub. So we sub, and they said they made a mistake and didn't T-bar, right, which makes us burn a timeout, which was all the difference in the world in an end-of-game scenario. And then the play on Johnny, obviously we'll appeal it. I saw it on the field. One of the things we wanted to do with this quarterback, sometimes when you have open hits on the quarterback, it's very tempting to lead with your head. And we've been trying to teach those guys to go for the ball. He was really loose on the ball. We obviously got one out in the first half. There was a play at the end of the game last week against Iowa where they got the ball out. So I think Johnny actually led with his hands, and it just turned the game. Like it's maddening. It's absolutely the most frustrating thing to have one of your best players make a great play and to have it go 30 yards the other way is just insanity.
What do you do then, Brett, with the Big Ten?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had to do this before, so you can appeal those, right? So routinely on any given week, I try to minimize it. I'll turn in, last week I turned in 4 plays, and all 4 came back. We'll get better, right? I don't know how many I'll turn in this one, but like those kids deserve an answer. I get it. I'm the head coach, but those guys deserve an answer, right? Fans deserve an answer, and we didn't do enough to win the game, hands down. That's what it is. But to have things that are just routinely taken from you, it's sickening.
Wow. Again, I'm looking at this X post.
Yeah.
It says Brett Bielema at Brett Bielema, so it's off his.
Okay.
And it's the picture you send because no person seeing that would say, "Gosh, he looks like he's trying to hit him in the head with his top crown of his helmet." That's not what happened. Well, you remember last year, Devin Witherspoon had a pass interference call on the Purdue wide receiver, which again, horrible call. That was a pretty big game. We're going to the Big Ten championship. We win that game. And so the next play, they throw it in the corner end zone and get a touchdown. That was huge. And that was absolutely a bad call. So I don't know. Maybe when you're going through transitional stuff, trying to get better, get more respect, all these other things, Michigan, Ohio State wouldn't have that called on them. I'm sorry. Penn State. I'm crying a little bit here. All right, so from that to Brad Underwood.
Yes. As my eyesight has now gotten to the point where I can't read that
stat sheet
without readers. So I think we're going to have to add about 10 pair of readers around the locker room and the bench.
Because you never know where they are.
I know.
See the scouting report. But I'd like to thank Ottawa. Obviously, there's a a connection there with Joey, and it's been well documented. But it's a good basketball team. It's a good NAIA basketball team, and I'm going to enjoy watching and following their progress throughout the season, and did some things that caused us some problems, and now I'm excited to go watch film and learn from that. Most of the emphasis going into tonight was not about personnel or anything they did. It was about just us having a fundamental base and making all of the fundamental plays that we've been working on, and trying not to make mistakes, and communicate and over-communicate, and value possessions. I thought we did a lot of good things. I loved the start of the game, obviously. Luke got us going. Marcus got us a couple extra possessions with offensive rebounds. I loved the fact we had 26 assists. I was very disappointed in the fact we gave up 5 threes. Most of those were on very poor closeouts. I think one was contested. And then I really challenged him at halftime. I loved the start of the second half. I don't know what the 5-6 minute drought. I thought our defense had some bite, and played everybody even minutes, and it was great to see Nico and Draven and Amani get their feet wet and all find some success. So a little different one coming in 9 days. A lot to work on, a lot to continue to grow and educate and talk through, but a lot of positives today.
All right, Brad Underwood after the game against Ottawa, the exhibition, another exhibition with Kansas, the fundraiser Sunday night.
At 5 o'clock.
Okay. And
Luke Altmaier is going to be talking about it tomorrow when he's here at ESPN.
Luke Goody. We got our Luke's confused. That's okay. Luke Altmaier today, Luke Goody tomorrow. Your name has to be Luke to be on our station.
It's the Luke Show after 4 on the drive.
Luke Show after 4. Okay, so it's absolutely hopeful again, but as Illini fans, everybody will say, well, we'll go bad. That's just kind of the thing. Anyway, I'm not giving up on the football team. I really am not. You beat Maryland, should have beat Wisconsin. We can play with anybody from now on. Minnesota just beat Iowa at Iowa. I don't think Iowa's got an offense that's very good. Really good defense. So any game is open. Indiana certainly we're better than. Whether we win, I don't know. Those Indiana and Northwestern are home.
Next up is Minnesota on the 4th.
Yeah, and then it's Indiana, then it's at Iowa, then it's Northwestern here. And again, we're better, clearly. I don't know if we'll win, but we're better than Indiana and Northwestern. So that gets you to 5. And then you got to beat at Minnesota or at Iowa. And you want it Maryland. Maryland's better than Iowa and Minnesota. So it's not like you can't. You're not going to be favored to, but we'll just see how they respond. We need Keith Randolph back. He's the law firm partner with Johnny Newton. Johnny Newton played like an all-American NFL first-round draft pick on Saturday. In light of the penalty, he certainly did, and a controversial penalty, I think. All right, 8:46, rest of sports headlines. You got your Minnesota hosting San Francisco Monday night, right?
That's right. And when it comes to the Bears, I'm just reading off of here about the rookie quarterback and backup running back leading the Chicago Bears to their first win in Soldier Field in 13 months. Tyson Bagent, a 23-year-old undrafted free agent playing in place of injured Justin Fields, led the 30-12 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders.
And Raiders aren't very good. And and Jimmy Garoppolo was out. He did not play. So they had Brian Hoyer, who's, professional quarterback, but yeah.
He became the first Bears quarterback to win his first career start since Craig Krenzel in 2004. It was the Chicago Bears' first home win since September 25th, 2022.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
So
wait a minute. September 22nd,
25th, 2022.
That is over
13 months. I know.
Ago. Since the Bears won at home. And yet the Bears fans are still there and they're still cheering. Good for them.
Right. Managed the Division II product from Shepherd University.
Where's Shepherd University?
Who holds the NCAA record for career touchdown passes, 159.
Wow.
Prepared all week as the starter, Justin Fields, suffered a dislocated thumb against the Minnesota Vikings.
And I'm all high on CrossFit because that's what I'm doing, because Christian owns the gym.
Mm-hmm.
We do pay full subscription. Right?
Okay.
Janet and I both pay
All right.
full boat.
Now we know.
Anyway.
And Stevie J Broadcasting employees, welcome to
all the
CrossFit
Stevie J
also.
Broadcasting employees.
Our fitness incentives are there.
Get free membership to CrossFit.
Just need to step up and do
one
it.
person has taken up this offer. Anyway, I think CrossFit will become more and more prevalent in the game, and I think that there must be a way, and I think it's happening in the Chicagoland area, where there is actually a class in high schools now called CrossFit. And in lieu of it making ESPN for the games, I think this thing's going to really grow. It's a tremendous way to get fit. Best I've ever been part of.
Well, and it's not a long workout.
It's a hard workout. I mean,
hard burst.
Today will take me, the time cap today on what we're doing, you got to do burpees and wall balls. That means you take a medicine ball and shove it way up high on the wall. And that's going to take 12 minutes. 13 minutes is the cap. I think I can get it in 12. And that is going to be absolutely grueling. When I'm done with that, I'll be very huffy puffy, but then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather do an hour and a half of kind of casual towel around your neck or 12 minutes?
No. I mean, no to both.
That gotcha. Thanks for your honesty, Diane.
I want to walk.
That's sports. From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information, including repair quotes and online scheduling requests, available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Ready for some much-needed pampering and girl time? Merle Norman is just the place. Join in on the fun and frolicking on Witch's Day Out, Friday, October 27th, starting at 11 at Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio. We're talking door prizes, a spinning wheel with prizes and treats. Gather your friends and jump on your broom for a day of fun. Learn what works for your skin and rock some hot new looks. It's the fun Witch's Day Out at Merle Norman, Friday, October 27th, starting at 11.
The world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. The Circus Sports Illinois app is ready for action. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Call the roofing company that is family owned and operated, licensed, insured, and bonded. We offer excellent customer service and make our customer needs our top priority. Roof Doctors has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. It's easy to see why we have hundreds of very happy customers. Call us today for your free estimate or to discuss your upcoming project at 328-7529 or visit roofdoctorsco.com. That is 328-7529 or roofdoctorsco.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Pan Am this Saturday. Some nice mild days ahead. Plenty of rain ahead. Get it done while you may, where you can, and the best you can over the second half of the week. And a couple of more outbreaks expected over the weekend as we transition into more or less a mid to late November feel come early to mid next week. In the meantime, mostly sunny, breezy, and milder afternoon highs today on your Monday at about 68. The southeast to south wind increasing at 12 to 22 and gusty. Not so cool tonight. Fair and in the 50s. Tomorrow, windy, warmer, partly cloudy, 77 for the high. That's almost 15 above average with a south wind 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of showers break out after midnight tomorrow night. Lows down to about 60 and up to 73 we climb with a couple of showers both morning and afternoon on Wednesday. Breezy, mild weather Thursday. More rain ahead both morning and afternoon. The high about 75. A couple of showers and thunderstorms 77 on Friday. Showers for the weekend. High temperatures in the 60s, but by Monday, Tuesday next week only in the 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Soldier.
Yeah, one more note about Illinois football. We're 1-4. We're last place in the West. But if you can win at Minnesota, and I understand Minnesota went to Iowa and won 12-10, and I think you can. Again, my basis of reasoning is you won at Maryland. So Maryland's better than Minnesota. You have a chance to beat Minnesota. If you beat Minnesota, we'll be favored to go to a bowl. Think of it that way. You beat Minnesota, you're favored to go to a bowl because you're going to be favored against Indiana, Northwestern at home. So there's that.
If we pivot to a basketball trending story right now, thanks, Adam, for the text at 359-2255. Indiana University basketball player arrested after refusing to leave Taco Bell. This one says misdemeanor charges. I see a mugshot here about freshman basketball store, Indiana, late night incident at Taco Bell. So I haven't got all the criminal charges looked at here, but this is a quick assessment of something that happened over the weekend for the Hoosiers.
We don't know who that is. Doesn't say.
That's right. It's Mackenzie Macabo, Mgbako is his last name.
But he's a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway,
he's
that's
18.
Always bad to have that happen to somebody.
3:18 Sunday morning.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Would Ron Turner say nothing good happens after midnight?
That's right.
So you need to get home, and who knows what happened, but Taco Bell's open at 3:18 in Bloomington, Indiana?
Absolutely.
Is it open
They're
here?
open everywhere. It is a happening place.
I mean,
after the bars closed.
Didn't they close IHOP because of the drug dealing at 3:42 in the morning?
Those hours are crazy.
And who would possibly work at IHOP or anywhere else at 2 in the morning?
I mean, it is entertaining to try to make out their order.
Would you want
with
a
such
waitress?
slurred speech?
Would you want a waiter or waitress at a restaurant at 3 a.m. on a college campus? Remember, I broadcast live from Dunedin, New Zealand. It was 16 hours ahead. I was on at 7 a.m. or whatever the timing was, and it was midnight in Dunedin, New Zealand. And the college kids would come into McDonald's where I was, and it just got really loud. You remember how loud that was?
Yeah.
Well, they'd been drinking.
I know that.
And so it has the loud inside voice going, so that thing. So anyway, yeah, that's the 24/7 stuff. So anyway, IU basketball player arrested. Yeah, who knows? So figure it out. Okay. So again, we're done till Sunday on basketball. We're done till a week from Saturday on football.
It's looking like it was a drive-through incident, and the police, he refused to leave the car, and the officers had to use a baton to break the passenger side window.
What the world?
unlock the doors.
That is nuts.
And then placed at Monroe County Jail
Wow.
in handcuffs.
Well, did you see the
Posted
video?
bond at 5:25 a.m. and then released.
Did you see the video? Was it Jack in the Box? Look up Jack in the Box drive-through and see this woman. They got in a spat in the drive-through, and it was an order mix-up, and the guy was mad, and then she threw stuff at him, and then she casually walked away, and came back with a gun and started shooting at the truck. Shooting at the truck. The worker did. See if that comes up. Jack in the Box drive-through. It's just some of the. Again, it's like wow. First of all, I can't tell you the last time I went to a drive-through.
Yeah,
but it's not a. It's just. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing that happen. It looks like it's the Houston area.
And that's Jack in the Box.
Worker defends herself.
Defends herself.
Yeah.
What? Because he threw a packet of ketchup at her.
Right.
So she got a
over
loaded.
a dispute about the meal.
And then she got a gun and started firing it, and they peeled out because they were getting shot. Unbelievable.
Okay.
All right. Happy.
Happened over by the airport.
Happy thoughts. Let's go back and be this happy place. Do not.
What a start to our week.
Says don't go to Marianne's after 2 a.m. Who would go to Marianne's after 2 a.m.?
That would be
our
too.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. Yeah. Don't go to Marianne's after 2 to 5 a.m. They take over. Somebody actually got shot in the parking lot there 2 months ago in the leg. Oh my gosh. Waitress was telling me. Why would you go anywhere at 2 a.m.? I mean, really, I don't care who you are.
It's entertaining.
You need to go to bed, and you need to stop the binge drinking, children.
Right.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
God willing.
That's good.
Don't forget Jay Lehman after 3. Don't want to miss him. What's he think?
So much good energy.
Does Jay think it was targeting? I want to know that. Does Luke Altmaier? He's probably not going to say. But I mean,
right.
It's one of those. I guess you can argue based on the rule. I don't know. But maybe, but it could have not have been called too. And I guess they still called roughing, which still would have given him the yardage, but it was a 30-yard play because we had the loss versus the 15, not to count the momentum. So let me cry some more.
All right.
Anyway.
Have a good day.
See you tomorrow. That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Monday.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Make plans to pop into Pia's at 1609 West Springfield Avenue for happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday with 16-ounce drafts, just $3.25. Well drinks, $4. Taco Tuesdays get you big tacos for $2.50. $2 off on tequila shots and margaritas, $5. Get Mexican beers for $4 each. Go south of the border on Tuesdays at Pia's. Then there's Whiskey Wednesdays and karaoke a few times a month on Fridays with $4 Fireball shots. Pia's is the place to party any day of the week.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground, plus sewer, water line,